Hot Yoga 101, Complete Guide for Teachers. And I say hot yoga because that's my niche. I'm a certified hot yoga teacher. But this video, this guide is for teachers of all styles of yoga.
Now I understand.
So when I say hot yoga, I'm talking about a particular style of yoga created by Vishnu Ghosh, state of Bengal, city of Calcutta. One of his top students was Bikram Yoga. He brought this style of yoga to the United States in the mid-70s. And I had the privilege of being Bikram's most senior teacher for over 18 years. So for this video, when I say complete guide, I'm going to put teachers in three categories. Beginning teachers, from raw beginners to, let's say, the first year. More experienced teachers, from 1 year to, let's say, 5, 6 years. And then the very experienced teachers, from 6 years and beyond, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. But we want to talk about intention, because the intention changes for all three categories. Before we continue on, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, hit the notification bell. Any questions or comments, put them down below. I'm happy to get back to you. So let's talk about the beginning teacher first, because as an experienced teacher, you want to embody the intention of all three parts. But the beginning teacher, first of all, you have to know the information inside out, not just memorizing a script, what we call in the Barkan Method, the bullet points, what they call in the Bikram world, the dialogue. Not just memorizing the words, but knowing what those words mean, to really become a student of the information so that you can pass on and communicate that information with depth, with understanding, not just because I told you to do it, not just because Bikram told you to say it, because you understand what these words mean.
Now I understand.
I certified over 2,500 teachers in my career, and many times people will come to a teacher training program thinking they can just put in the hours. They do their 2 classes a day, they sit in the room listening to the tutorials, or if it's the online teacher training program, they watch the videos, and they think if they just get their hours in, they get their certificate. But very soon they realize they have to study. You want to go to a doctor that just learned enough information to pass a test, or do you want to go to a doctor that really understands and embodies the information?
Do you understand?
So as a beginning teacher, you have to truly become a student of what these words mean and understand them inside and out. And now as a beginning teacher, now you have to communicate those words so that the students will actually hear you. And what you have to do, and this is your mantra, give me a drum roll, Rochelle, projection. You've got to project your voice so it cuts through the room. Now, if you're soft-spoken, it could be more challenging, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not right for you. Let's talk about Shiva Ray. She's a soft-spoken teacher, but when she comes into that room, she projects her voice. You can hear her words, and she is by far one of the most popular and famous yoga teachers in the world. And she is soft-spoken, but she projects her voice. You can hear what she has to say. During my live teacher training programs, sometimes people are so soft-spoken that I actually have them leave the room and shout out the words from the hallway. And it sounds like they're shouting, but they're really now communicating the words where people can hear them. Now, if you're a beginning teacher and you're looking for a job, you may have to audition. And that's one of the first things that a studio owner or who's ever holding that audition is gonna pay attention to. Are you projecting your voice and getting those words out so the students can hear you? Projection is key. Now, if you're not a certified teacher and you're looking to become certified in the Barkan Method, we offer live trainings and also online trainings. I put links in the description below. In order to become a certified teacher, you have to take a 200-hour certification program. And once again, we offer that in the Barkan Method. We'd love to have you join the family. If you're already a teacher and you're looking for your 300-hour, which gives you the 500-hour status, that's also available in the Barkan Method, live and online. I put links in the description below. Now let's move on to the next category, the more experienced teacher, somebody that's been teaching for over a year or 2 years, up to 5 years. What happens at this stage that I found, because I was a studio owner for 39 years and I watched and I listened to my teachers over the time, and also what happened to me in my career. What happens is you start teaching a lot, and the words then start to become automatic. And especially if you're teaching multiple classes a day or multiple classes a week, you start saying the same things the same way in every class. So now we have to make the determination between what I call in the Barkan Method the teacher voice, which is a pattern of speech, a cadence that gets you through a 75-minute or 60-minute class. You have to have that teacher voice. You have to have that cadence. It's great for transitions. But you've got to break it. I'm sure you've gone to a yoga class and the teacher just goes on and on and on, and the same rhythm and the same tone, the words sound exactly the same for 90 minutes. At one point, you're going to want to strangle them.
I can't take it anymore.
What we have to do is break the pattern and transition from the teacher voice to the conversation voice. The conversation voice is when there's something that's important in the pose. And I I call it, in the Barkan Method, we call it the gem. Find a gem, something that's important. Doesn't have to be the most important. Find something that's important in the post. Doesn't have to be the most important, but something that's important. You want to communicate that gem. You want to communicate that point in a different tone. One, so you break the pattern, so you're not going to be so ridiculously competitive, but two, so that the students will actually hear you. Let me give you an example. Triangle pose is a good example. In the Barkan Method, we start with Warrior Two. So, arms overhead, step out to the side, arms down by your side, one motion. Pivot on the right heel, bend the right knee, sit down into Warrior Two. Look over the fingertips of the left hand, tilt to triangle. Left arm up, right arm down. Left hip forward, upper body back. This is my teacher voice. We need to have the teacher voice to get us through a 75-minute class, but we need to break the pattern. How are we going to break the pattern? So once again, let me show you. I'm going to transition from the teacher voice to the conversation voice. Left hip forward, upper body back. Left arm up, right arm down. Now what we have to do is push into our left foot, because that left foot wants to come off the ground. So if you push into the knife edge of your left foot, that's going to stabilize the left leg. That's the foundation we want to have in the pose. Look what happened. All of a sudden, it sounded different. All of a sudden, the inflection changed. All of a sudden, students are actually going to say, oh, he's now saying, or she's now saying something in a different tone, and it's almost a conversation voice. Sometimes people will think that you're talking to them directly and look over to you. We don't want it to do that, but sometimes it happens. And if you're effective in your conversation voice, that's going to happen, and that's a good sign. That means you're getting the student's ear. That's what we have to do. If you're talking too fast, sometimes in the Bikram world and the Barkan world too, people talk so fast that you're trying to figure out what they have to say, and they're 6 sentences ahead of you. Slow down a little bit without losing the passion, without losing the projection. I'm not saying softer. I'm saying a little bit slower so people can actually hear you. And breaking the pattern, what I call in the Barkan Method, variety of tone. Now that's easier said than done. It's easier said to go from teacher voice to conversation voice, to actually explain what it is, getting that knife edge and that foot into the floor so you stabilize the leg. It's easier said than done. That's what I do. I help coach you to help you find that conversation voice, especially in the Barkan Method online teacher training programs. If you're interested, it's a real simple process. Click on the link below, fill out the application. We will schedule a Zoom call, just you and me, and I'll give you a preview of the course. But in the course, if you do sign up for the online course, I'm going to coach you one-on-one on how you can find that conversation voice, how you can find the gem, and communicate that information so you can, one, create variety of tone, but even more so to get the student's ear, so they'll actually hear what you're saying. And now your words are going to be so much more effective. People, when they fill out their applications, they always say to me almost every single time, I want to share with others what's helped me. And the best way you can do that is to communicate the information so they can hear it, apply your words that you're saying, which then takes them to the next level. That's where the transformation comes in. It's such an important part, and it's going to turn you from a good teacher to a great teacher, from a great teacher to an outstanding teacher. That's how you're going to stand out, by bringing your own personality, by projecting those words, finding the conversation voice, making the encouragements and corrections, being present in your room, and having that synergy between you and your students. And now we get to the very experienced teacher, this teacher that's been teaching at least 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. We have our projection. We know our words. We can say them in our sleep. We understand what the words mean. And we can start to play with those nuances, with the conversation tone. Now what we want to try to implement into our classroom is, another drum roll, Rochelle, correction. Are the students doing the postures properly? If you're just rambling off, even if you're in a good conversation tone and you're not looking to see if the student isn't in the right position, you're not going to be of service to the students, to the classroom. If you're doing a posture, let's say like eagle pose, and their hands look like this, and you're just talking in your wonderful conversation voice, doesn't matter if they're holding the hands wrong, or if they're doing standing bow and they're holding their foot like this. You got again to turn that hand around and hold her properly so they're in the right position. I've said it many times on my channel before. It's like the key that unlocks the door. The tumblers have to fit in just right in order for the body to open up. Now, sure, beginning teachers and more experienced teachers, not the very experienced teachers, can also make corrections, but the very experienced teachers can correct more people in the classroom. In other words, who can you correct? You want to be able to First of all, you're definitely going to be able to correct raw beginners. But let's say you're only doing yoga for 2 years and there's somebody in the classroom that's been doing yoga for 20 years. First of all, they may not want you to correct them. And number two, you may not have that really understanding and ability to correct them. So the more experience you have, the more students in your classroom that you can correct. I've been doing yoga for 44 years. There's nobody on the planet that I can correct, but I earned that right with my experience. Plus, I also was there before, meaning I was able to reach the full expression in many of the poses, most of the poses in my career. So when you had been there before, you have a little better understanding. That doesn't mean that you can't correct people. Let's say you have never straightened your leg in standing bow before. You still can correct people to get to that level. You don't have to have always been there in your own practice, but if you are, it's definitely an advantage. And the point I'm making is you don't want to really correct students that are more experienced than you. You don't want to correct the studio owner who you're working for. That would definitely be a big bad mistake to make. You want to be able to choose the students that you can correct. And some people may not like correction. I've been told sometimes before, please don't push me in that pose. I really appreciate you don't. And guess what? They don't want it. I won't do it because that's all I do is correct. That's why I was divorced twice.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
But that's how I was taught. That's how Bikram did. That's how Emmy Cleaves did. They were my two teachers. That's how I was brought up, to correct. But in the Bikram world especially, there's no room for correction because there's so many words to say in the dialogue. In the Barkan Method, as a beginning teacher and even as we get into the more experienced side of the teachers, they're still a little bit uncomfortable in correcting the people because they haven't been there enough, because they haven't been teaching enough. That's why at this point, is more for the very experienced teachers. Choose who you can teach, who you can correct, make those corrections. And also what goes hand in hand with correction is encouragement. A lot of times I will encourage people first before I lay in the correction. In my class, I actually probably could work on my own teaching, could encourage a little more than I do correct. I remember one time, one of my students said to me, I saw you correct 10 people in like 15 seconds. That's all I do. That's where my eye goes. So let's sum it up. As a beginning teacher, projection, knowing the words, not just memorizing a script, not just memorizing the dialogue, but understanding what those words mean and projecting your voice. They have to hear you. If you get a full classroom, especially if you're in a hot yoga room, sometimes the heater is loud. You have to talk over the heater. So you have to project those words so everyone in the room can hear you. The more experienced teachers, find the gem, find the conversation voice. Break your teacher voice. The teacher voice is important. I'm not saying don't have that teacher voice. That's going to get us through a 75-minute, 90-minute class. You have to have that rhythm and our cadence, but we need to break it so the students can hear you. Variety of tone. And at the very experienced level, correction and encouragements. They're holding their foot wrong in standing bow, make the correction. They're kicking too high too soon, make the correction. And also tell them how wonderful they're doing. But here's another side note. You don't want to just say, sometimes teachers will just say, oh, that's wonderful, or oh, that's beautiful, just because they brought their arms over the head. Oh, beautiful. It's not beautiful that they just brought their arms overhead. Now when they do something that deserves an adjective like beautiful, it's not going to really mean anything. So save those beautifuls, because it's almost patronizing, for when it really means something. It's just a side note. So as promised, at the end of each video, I'm going to let you know where I'm going to be in the next few months in our teacher training programs and workshop. November 7th to the 9th, I'm going to be in Marlton, New Jersey doing a Barkan Method and 26-2 workshop at Revive Yoga. January 17th, I'm going to be up in Delray, Florida. It's a Saturday from 12 to 2, I believe, at Atta Yoga. Then January 23rd to the 25th, I'm going to be in Albuquerque, New Mexico, doing a Barkan Method and 26-2 workshop at Blissful Spirits. And in February, I'm doing 2 level 2 and 3 trainings. One's going to be at Steamtown in Scranton, Pennsylvania. The other's going to be in Selfoss, Iceland. Once again, I put links in the description below. We'd love to have you join us. So that's our episode for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Hit the notification bell. Any questions or comments, put them down below. I'm happy to get back to you. And I'll see you at the next video. Bye, everyone.